everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a layout for Mixed Media Frenzy, and of course I'm using some white cardstock, and I'm going to prep it with some clear gesso. And the sketch we are doing this week is the sketch you see in the upper right hand corner, and I really love this sketch. I think it's super cool. So I'm just prepping my paper with the gesso, just because I'm going to be using some paints and liquids and stuff on it, so I don't want it to seep through. So I'm going to use my Distress Oxides for this layout. I'm using Picked Raspberry and Broken China, and all I'm doing is I'm taking my little distress tool and I am just rubbing it on, like rubbing it together, blending them together, the two colors. And I'm kind of trying to do what they have in the sketch. They have like these rows of paint going through them, and I'm going to do one on this side as well, and a little bit on the top there where my picture will be. Now I did mark where my picture is going with a pencil, so I knew where to start putting my Distress Oxide. So that's kind of how it's going to go. And I'm also going to do these circles like you see in the sketch. Now I learned something new from Vicki Boutin. I watch her lives on Friday nights, and she does a lot of mixed media. And what she did is she took the Distress Oxides, just like how I have them, and now she's going to take the little dauber tool and just spray it with water. And what it does is it lifts some of the Distress Oxide up, and it makes an imprint of whatever you're pulling through the stencil. So I'm, in this case, using flowers, and this is one of her flower stencils from her Wildflower and Honey collection. And I am just dampening just one spray of water I do on it. Not a lot of water, just a little. And I spray it, and then I just go in with my tool, and it makes a flower impression, and I love it. So then I decided to do the little circles too, and I went in with this stencil of hers, and it just fit around the circle so perfectly. So I made a cute little imprint, and it kind of looks like little candy to me, like those little mint candies. That's what I thought it looked like anyways. So I'm just spraying it again, and I rub a little bit of the color off on a paper towel too, just to make sure they're not, blending. And that is what it's gonna look like, and I love it. So cool. So what I did is there's a lot of layers behind the picture in this sketch, so I decided to pull some of her other collections as well. I am using mostly the Let's Wander collection for most of my stuff, but to back my photo, I used a couple of papers and scraps that I had from her other collections. So I'm going to use this blue one here that I had as a scrap to bring in more of the blue that's on my mixed media background. And then I'm also going to use a really pretty pink flowered paper you'll see in a minute. But first, I did back my photo with just a piece of white cardstock just to give it a little border, because there wasn't one. And now I'm just going to trim it down, and I do distress the edges of my papers with my distress tool. And now I'm going to use this pink flower one, which I thought was perfect because of what my daughter was wearing. And this is just a picture of her in a park. We were away on vacation, and they had a little park at the resort we were staying at, and she loved it. We had to go there every day. She wanted to go to the park, And she was about 3 years old there, maybe 2.5. And she just was wandering around and loving it and playing it and running around. She just got a total kick out of it. So that's the picture that I'm documenting today. So there was this big piece. Vicki Boutin has a lot of big pieces of die cuts in her collections. And there was this big tag. And I liked it because it had all the colors that I had on my layout. So I decided to stick that behind my photo. And now I'm going in with another one of her kits. Don't know which one this one is. I can't remember. I am so sorry, guys. But I decided to fussy cut some of these circles out because they went perfectly with this collection too. Most of her collections go really well together. You can mix and match them, which I love. So I decided to make this little circle cluster up there in the corner, just like in the sketch. And now I'm going to back my photo with some craft foam just to pop it up a little bit and give it some dimension. And while I am doing that, I just want to remind you guys not to forget to check out the other ladies who are also doing Mixed Media Frenzy this week. I will have their links down below. Make sure you check them out because I just love the way everybody, interprets the sketch. It's so, so cool. So there was this die cut also in this new collection of hers that says Small Adventures. And I thought that was so perfect for this photo because that's what she was doing. She's small and she was having a little adventure in the park, just roaming around and doing her own little thing. So I thought that was very cute. I loved it. And now I'm just going to stick those little circle circles that I cut out of that pattern paper and pop those down. Now there's a little cluster of flowers in the sketch on the bottom left hand corner. So I decided to go in with these little brads that I had because they were the perfect colors to go with this layout. And I didn't use them as brads though. I kind of glued them down with some glue dots. So I decided I didn't want to puncture or try to puncture the brads through. I just figured I'd just leave them flat and just glue them down, and it just was easier. So that's what I did. And then in this collection as well, and now her new collection is Let's Wander. I don't know if I said that. And I did buy the stickers that go with this collection. So they have these little banners in them. So I decided to use a pink and blue one because they went perfectly. And if you look at the sketch, there's these banners on the side there by the flowers. So I'm going to make a little cluster there of banners. Now, at first I was only going to use these two little ones, and then I'm like, that's not enough. So I decided to fussy cut these ones out, and they were the perfect color, but they were too big. So what I did is I cut them down. Very simple. I just cut them down and I made my own banners. So what I do is you just pierce the bottom together like that. And then you just snip it off. And there's your little banner. Really easy. Not too hard. Now this one I cut down a little bit more because I realized it was still a little too big. And I did the same thing to that one. So now I decided to glue these ones down first. So I had to get them tucked underneath my photo because everything was glued down. And then I stuck the smaller ones on top. So there's my little banner cluster, just like in the sketch. And now I'm just going to glue down my flowers with some glue dots because I decided not to use them as brads. I decided just to glue them down like regular flowers. And this layout came out so cute, and I love this technique that I did that I learned from Vicky. If you don't watch her lives on Friday, you really need to because you can learn so much from her. It's every Friday night. She does it usually 8:30, I believe, and it's on Facebook and it's on her Mixed Media page, and it's really super cool. So then I decided to stick in a couple of these little sayings here, and one is love this and the other one is right now. And now I'm going to go on my title, and my title is going to be Let's Wander because that's what she was doing. And I use these little black alphas, and I love these alphas, guys. I got them at Tuesday morning, and I can't wait to be able to go back to Tuesday morning. I don't know about you guys, but I am having serious withdrawals. I need to get to Tuesday morning. I miss it so much. And I know I'm saving money by not going every week, but I so miss it. I just love looking at the stuff and doing, and buying things. But hopefully we'll get back to normal soon, right, guys? Gotta think positive. So now I'm using this stencil that I love, and all it is a stencil from Altenew, and it's splatters. It's just paint splatters. That's what it is. And I love it because I can never do the big splatters. I always end up messing it up with my paintbrush. So now I don't have to because I have this stencil, and I absolutely love it, and it works so good and so perfect. So I'm using it to make those splatters like you see on the sketch. And I'm just going in with the blue and the pink, but you will see me come in with some black. I wanted to bring some black into the layout. That's why my title is black, and one of my flowers has a black center on it, little gem thing, and also I have the black little saying there. And I also pulled out from her collection, there was this little chipboard that said something about in my backyard, and I thought that was perfect because it was in our backyard when we were away at our hotel, so it was very nice, and she loved it. So now you'll see me come in, and I'm going to use my black gel pen just to put a little rim around the edges of my circles that I made, just to kind of give them a little more definition, so they show up a little bit more. And I really like outlining them like that. And then I glued down that chipboard piece as well. But first I'm going to go in with my black acrylic paint, and I'm going to water it down, and I am going to do something really cool. I ended up using, because see how you see the little black circles on there? I decided to go in with a black, a top of a water bottle. And I just used the cap, and I just dipped it in the paint, and then I stuck it down on my paper. Now I will fix that because it did not come out perfect the first time, of course. So I used a baby wipe to kind of dab it up a little bit. And it's not supposed to be perfect. As you can see in the sketch, it isn't perfect. So I did that, and then I did the one over here in that corner. And they came out really good. And then I did some black splatters because I thought that would just tie everything together, bring out a little bit more of the black, and I really like the way the black looks against the blue and the pink. And that is it. That is the layout, guys. I hope you guys like it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. Just remember to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And yes, it says in my own backyard. That's what it says. Sorry, guys. I couldn't remember. And these are your close-ups. And I will see you guys again soon. And stay healthy. Take care of yourselves. I hope you are all doing well. And as always, stay crafty. Bye.